anybody else on drugs? Anybody else on drugs out there? I'm on drugs. I've taken just about every kind of drug you can possibly imagine, in smaller or larger quantities, as circumstances permitted, and I can tell you a couple of things about drugs. Drugs are boring and overpriced. They are. Drugs are not dangerous. They're not. And I'd like to share with you some of the reasoning behind that. We would reach a higher spiritual plane. I reached a higher consciousness where I discovered I don't give a fuck. I did. It's great. Do you want some? Because drugs are not in short supply. Honestly, if anybody's having any headache. Drugs are not in short supply, and they're not expensive. Most of the drugs that people like grow freely on planet Earth. In fact, in most places, they're a fucking pest. You have to employ the American government to get rid of your drugs. Or, in the case of Afghanistan, help you distribute them more effectively. Because the distribution of Afghanistan heroin has gone up year after year after year ever since we invaded. It's almost as if we were selling it. We wouldn't do that, would we? We wouldn't spend trillions invading a country that's basically living in the Stone Age just to take over their drug supply and sell it to people to make a profit, would we? I might have to take some drugs and get onto a higher consciousness to figure that one out. But drugs are not dangerous, and let me explain that. There are a lot of things that kill people on Earth, and there are a lot of things that you're probably doing that are going to kill you. But don't worry, it's a long way off, or at least a couple of hours. Don't die just that. Smoking tobacco kills 4 million people every year, and you can buy that shit in the shops. Drinking alcohol kills 3 million people a year, and you can buy that shit right over there. A sedentary lifestyle, not getting enough exercise, kills 2 million people a year. Unsafe sex kills 1 million people every year. Air pollution kills 500,000. And your doctor and his prescription drugs kills 500,000 people every fucking year. Hey, welcome to the real world. Meanwhile, would anybody like to hazard a guess in the entire planet how many dead people every year were taking illegal drugs? In planet Earth in 2006, according to the World Health Organization, 100,000 people died because they took illegal drugs. Obviously, we're now short of 100,000 morons who couldn't self-dose themselves without killing themselves. Oh well, no threat to the species. I've observed that there are plenty of humans, and we're not in any danger from the death rate from drugs of going extinct. Unlike the 75 species a day we're currently fucking into non-existence. But never mind that, humans are way more important, aren't they? So, let me just put this suggestion to you. 2 million people die from physical inactivity. If you know anybody who watches too much television, sits about too much, doesn't jog, maybe needs a bit of exercise, get them on drugs. Get them some grass. You'll be moving them from a very dangerous statistic, the 2 million dead sedentary people, to a very safe statistic, only 100,000 dead morons who couldn't self-dose themselves. Meanwhile, in all of the shops, in all of the countries in the world, and it kills 3 million people every year. Does anybody know what it is that kills 3 million people a year and we're selling to our children? It's white sugar. White sugar. I assure you, I didn't make this shit up. The World Health Organization gave me the figures. 3 million dead people every year from the effects of white sugar. Obesity, heart attacks, the whole fucking shebang. Strokes, it's dangerous stuff, white sugar. White sugar is dangerous stuff. Tobacco is dangerous. Alcohol is dangerous, but drugs are not dangerous. How did we become so misinformed? It's almost as if a giant cock were pushing lies down your throat, and you couldn't swallow them fast enough before the next one comes along. You Illegal drugs are dangerous. Let me have some sugar instead. I'll give it to my children. Meanwhile, drugs are the second biggest business on planet Earth, making $400 billion profit every year, simply because they're illegal. Let's remember, they're not in short supply. If drugs were legal, you could give LSD away with cornflakes, grass would be growing at the side of the road, and cocaine, by the way, costs less money to make in an industrial process than white sugar. So, simultaneously, while the great cock of lies is pissing untruth down our throat, the big dick of profit is fucking us in the ass for something which is otherwise free. Oh, fuck me in the ass with that $400 billion profit from something I could get for no piss lies down my throat. Are we all starting to get a clear picture of our position on planet Earth now?